All right, and after that, many people have, opted or volunteered for Regeneron's experimental therapies. Well, let's go across to Dr. Suranjit Chatterjee, Senior Consultant in Internal Medicine, Indraprastha Apollo Hospital, for more on this treatment. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. So, it's been months that I've been hearing about monoclonal antibody treatment. In fact, a lot of the experts I've spoken to have talked about how this is something that is being developed. They have great hopes for it. Tell us what it is exactly. Explain to our viewers.
See, basically, this monoclonal antibodies, these are artificial antibodies being produced outside. And so we have people who have suffered from COVID or people or from mouse. We take these antigens and an antibody is produced outside the body, and they can be injected into a person where it acts like an artificial antibody against the virus. It prevents the virus from multiplying or replicating, and it also helps in stopping the virus from adhering to the body cells which it can infect. So the scientific logic and the scientific basis is there definitely. These monoclonal antibodies have been used for a long time for other immunological diseases and cancers where it has helped. Now, obviously, there's still an experimental drug. Whether the president improved on his own or because of the combination of medications that he took, and whether it can be only attributed to the monoclonal antibodies is a big question mark. But yes, it has scientific basis, and it can be used as one of the modalities, as days would tell us. Obviously, there are studies further going on. Eli Lilly had applied for a monoclonal antibody, which was a single-line monoclonal antibody earlier also. But what has been seen is that a double-line monoclonal antibody is doing and is giving better results. So days would come, but it can be used maybe as an experimental therapy on a compassionate ground that is being used for even other drugs as well.
All right, so Doctor, you're telling us that, Donald Trump didn't just receive monoclonal antibodies, though that is what he speaks about when he talks about, this miraculous treatment that he's now offering for free to all Americans. He received a host of different sorts of treatments, a cocktail of drugs, and one of them was this treatment.
See, that's what I'm saying, that when you receive a cocktail of drugs, see, quite a few patients of COVID anyway improve on their own. So that is one of the types that the disease behaves. But yes, if you receive a cocktail of drugs, which includes remdesivir, steroids, and also the monoclonal antibodies, you really don't know which drug worked. And a combination might have helped him better. Like he received steroids is something which has been used in the last couple of months as a known modality of treatment. So it could be a cocktail of drugs. So I really don't know whether it's only the monoclonal antibodies which helped him. But yes, there is scientific basis to it. There are reasons to believe it. But we need more studies and more research that this is going to be a wonder drug. I can still not promise whether there is a wonder drug or not.
Right, and Dr. Chatterjee, it's also, I've heard, a very expensive treatment, and it'll be a challenge really to get it to everyone if the FDA does give this emergency approval to the drug.
All monoclonal antibody treatments are expensive treatments because it's artificially made, it's difficult to acquire, although it's easy to make. It's easier to make than a vaccine, there's no doubt about that, but it cannot be a replacement to the vaccine at any stage because this antibodies more acts on an acute stage rather than on a prophylactic basis. So this cannot be a replacement to that, but it's an expensive drug. I don't know how easy it is to get, but yes, this is something which can be used in people. It has to be really categorized and in which we can use it, because getting it is also not, although the companies are promising that they're going to get drugs in millions, I don't know how easy it is going to be in the long run.
And what about monoclonal antibodies in India? Are they being developed here, or will have to rely on foreign companies?
So we have all the facilities. India, unfortunately, has all the medical facilities. Once it is approved and comes through, I think India will be one of the countries to get it early. So I hope that, because see, most of the drugs that are being used internationally for COVID or any other diseases comes to India pretty early. Our pharmaceutical companies and even the international companies which are based in India, they're all quite equipped. And I'm reasonably sure that once it is approved for treatment, India would be one of the first countries to even get it.
And just once again, you spoke about how it's developed. These are antibodies that are developed. I've heard stem cells are used in its development. Mice are also used in its development. If you can just tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so basically what happens is we get the cells from the mouse. We can get cells from human beings. We can get cells from, so stem cells are there. It can be acquired from the bone marrow, from the marrow it is produced. So monoclonal antibodies, there are different sources from where you can grow monoclonal antibodies, even from the marrow cells, from the mouse cells. And so there are different lines which produce. So as I said, that the recent study that they are saying that 2 lines of antibodies are better than 1 line of monoclonal antibody, and the results have been better with 2 lines of monoclonal antibody. So that is what we are seeing. But yes, as I said, days and the next few weeks are going to tell us how good it is. But there is hope in this treatment, at least in the phase of acute treatment. I don't think that can be used in everybody and anybody. It should not be used in anybody and everybody. There has to be a categorization by the doctors and by the medical bodies to use this drug that is really indicated.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Chatterjee, for joining us and explaining to us about this new experimental treatment being hailed by Donald Trump.